when I have guests here, as you know, I normally introduce them and I just give you a rundown on all the awards they've won and the things that they've done. If I did that with Lloyd, then we'd be here till 10 o'clock. So I'm not going to do that because he's a multiple award winner in just about every facet of blues and Australian music. But what I will tell you is that he's just been given what I think is the ultimate accolade for a guitarist and a musician, and been awarded a signature guitar, and that is a wonderful thing. And I've been working on getting Lloyd into this studio for about 12 months. And
I'm very elusive.
It is wonderful to say, Lloyd Spiegel, welcome to Blues on the Hill.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
I am well, and as I said, glad to see you. Now, for those people who say Lloyd who?
Yes.
Where did it all start for Lloyd Spiegel? Take me back. You've been doing this for 22
years?
30 years.
22 years now, I guess.
22 years.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm just about to go 34 next week, and this is my 22nd year of gigging about.
Okay.
You know, my father was a huge blues fan, and used to take me to see Dutch Tilders and the Blues Club play at the Station Hotel on a Sunday afternoon, and that was like going to church. And that's where I learned. You know, I used to sit on a milk crate next to Jeff Atchison and watch those two guitar men do their thing. It just made a lot of sense. I mean, it's very simple. You see, at that age, you know, at 7 or 8 years old, you sort of see guys playing guitars like that, and you go, "That's a good job. That's heaps better than Dad's job. I'll just do that job." So that's where I've ended up. And you know, I sort of never looked back. There was always a guitar in my hand, and I'm very fortunate to have just made a career out of something I truly love doing.
And self-taught, or where did you learn the intensity? Because I mean, yourself and Jeff, you mentioned Jeff, you both just don't play the guitar. You attack the guitar with the intensity. Like, where does that come from?
You know, I had a combination, I guess, of lessons with different people. I had actual lessons with Neil Farnell. He was a wonderful guitarist, and then, you know, the Atchisons and the Tilders of the world would always drag me aside and show me a thing here or there. But I guess most of my guitar playing came from just getting out and playing. You know, that's what I tell all the parents that come to me, say, "Well, my son plays blues at home, and I don't know what to do now." I go, "Well, the best way to get on stage and do it is to get on stage and do it." So the blues jams are probably more responsible than anything else.
Yeah, the MBAS, wonderful place, and also the Youth in Blues, of course.
That's right.
Which brings great bluesmen around, and it's what we mentioned, Youth in Blues, of course, Alistair Turrell, the current winner, or the current Youth in Blues person who I actually saw at your gig last year.
Yes.
And you've mentored him, and you've shown him around. It's a wonderful thing to do.
It was fun, actually. You know, Al is a wonderful kid. He's a fantastic songwriter. I've just finished producing his album that's being released currently, so there should be one in your mailbox any minute now.
There is, yeah.
And you know, Al sat down because I won the very first Youth in Blues comp 22 years ago or something, and Alistair sat down at the table at a gig, and happened to sit next to my father and mother. And didn't know who they were, and sort of said, "Hi, I'm Alistair, and nice to meet you." And they said, "Oh, how you doing? What you doing here?" "I'm hoping to meet Lloyd Spiegel." So my dad said, "I think I could probably arrange that." and so that was it. I dragged him up on stage, and he's basically been kicking around at my house ever since. I can't get rid of him.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's just launched his album, like you say, and he's out there now pushing it, so that's great. But yeah, I first saw him at your gig, and he gave me his demo, and I've been playing his demo ever since, and now we've got his album. So
the album is fantastic. He's such a wonderful songwriter. He's truly gifted, and I think we should all enjoy watching his rise.
All right, now talking about young bluesmen, when you were a teenager, you thought, okay, so you've done the Dutch Tilde, you've watched it here, then you decided to go over the States as a teenager.
Yeah, you know, I think that every blues artist should do that, and every young player should do that, especially when you have no bills, you have no wife, you have no responsibilities. You just so I packed up and went, and I guess I was 16 the first time. My father took me over, and mostly to meet and play with Brandy McGee, and from there there was just no chance I was going home after those sorts of experiences and seeing those kinds of festivals. There was just no way that they would get me back on a plane. So on and off, I guess 7 years I travelled back and forth to and from the States, just just, you know, trying to make my way and trying to build a career for myself. It was important. I think that when you're growing up in the blues scene in Melbourne, with a lot of people patting you on the back, it can go two ways. You either start to believe it, and then you think a bit too much of yourself, or maybe you try so hard not to believe it that you actually start to doubt yourself. So just putting myself in the situation where I just had to play to work, and I had to work to eat, and
exactly.
It was a great time.
And you were doing the underage, using the fake IDs and everything.
I did. I had a fake ID, a pretty dodgy one too. I've still got it, and I dare say that I'm stunned I ever got in. But I think I used to have more front than Myers back then. I just used to walk in and demand to play. I said to my father recently, I said, "There's no way I'd have the guts to do that anymore."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, but back then you were too young to know you couldn't do that." You know, and I just had no inhibition. I had to play.
And one of the toughest audiences, they're the Americans, like Andrea Marr. I was speaking to Andrea when she got back from Memphis, and she said, that they're a tough crowd.
Well, they know the music. They really know. I mean, it's been 10 years since I've played in the States, and in January I finally did a gig in America for the first time in a decade. And it instantly reminded me of how amazing it was to play for an audience that really knew the blues, that really understood it. And of course, they will critique it, and I think that's a great way to improve your playing.
Absolutely. All right, we might go to a break, and you might play one live for us. What do you think?
I'd love to do that.
All right, we'll go to a break, and then we'll be back with Lloyd live. You're listening to Blues on the Hill. Lloyd Spiegel is my special guest. Back soon.
When my shoes get thin, I don't know where I'm going, I just don't know where I've been. I gotta walk on. I gotta keep on walking till I find my way back home. There's so many people happy, won't get used to happiness. Maybe that's the truth, that's not for me, I guess. I gotta walk on. Keep on walking till I find my way back home. I'd rather be walking, don't appreciate the ride. As long as we're together and you're there by my side, I can walk on. I gotta keep on walking till I find my way back home. People happy won't get used to happiness. That's the truth, it's not for me, I guess. But I gotta walk on. Keep on walking till I find my way back home. I gotta keep on walking till I find my way back home. Keep on walking till I find my way back home. Keep on walking till I find my way back home. My mind is worried, my shoes get thin and I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been, and I gotta walk on. I gotta keep on walking till I find my way back home. I gotta keep on walking till I keep on walking till I find my way back home.
Yeah, well done, and that's why this man is one of Australia's greatest guitarists. Fantastic.